Your heading for today is severe weather. Today we're going to talk about thunderstorms, lightning, thunder. So, severe weather. Uh-oh. Thunderstorms. A thunderstorm is a rapid upward movement of warm, wet air. Anytime we have warm, wet air moving upward, the chances of a thunderstorm are high. So if we have a warm front, they say a warm front's moving in, we have a warm and cold air mass hitting each other, and the warm is going to push above the cold, and if that warm air has moisture, it could create a thunderstorm. So rapid upward movement of warm, wet air. Huge clouds form as air cools and reaches its dew point. As warm, wet clouds go up, they're going to cool off because the higher you go up in the atmosphere, the cooler it gets. And water is going to condense. So warm, wet clouds going up, cooling, and reaching the dew point. And it normally happens at frontal boundaries, so that's where two air masses meet. So it normally doesn't happen in the middle of an air mass, it happens on the edges. Lightning is a component of thunderstorms. Lightning is a sudden, violent discharge of electricity. A sudden, violent discharge of electricity. And I'd write this also. This occurs because of an attraction between positive and negative electric charges. It's static in the clouds. So we've all probably been in socks and we've shuffled across the carpet and we've touched something and we've gotten a shock. Okay. Well, what happens when you rub your socks or slippers or whatever it is against the carpet is you are trading electrons. And remember, protons and electrons want to be even. Well, anytime you trade electrons, you're creating a charge. It might be positive, it might be negative. So atoms are trading electrons and you're creating a charge. Well, it wants to get everything even, so that's where that shock comes. Electricity wants to reach the ground. Okay, this might happen if you put your clothes in a clothes dryer. Okay, I never put in the little static sheet. I always forget, and then my sock ends up stuck to my pants. Okay, because in the dryer it's warm, and those for an hour or however long it takes. The clothes are bumping into each other, and they're trading electrons, and they're becoming charged positively and negatively. If you ever rubbed a balloon on your head and your hair rises, it's because of static electricity. You're creating charges between your hair and the balloon. Well, lightning is basically the same thing, just on a much, much larger scale. Clouds are going to bump into each other, creating static electricity, and that electricity wants to reach the ground. Electricity always wants to reach the ground. So it's going to strike in hopes of reaching the ground and making everything even again. Okay? If you've ever messed with an electric fencer, if you had livestock, the electricity wants to reach the ground. That's why you have to have plastic insulators or glass insulators. Because you can't just put the electric wire on the post or it'll go to the ground. If you touch the wire, you're made mostly of water and electricity. Water is a great conductor of electricity. Electricity is going to pass through you to the ground. So electricity is always looking for a pathway to the ground. and lightning is static in the clouds. What thunder is, and I'd write this down, is a rapid expansion of air caused when lightning heats it up. Anytime you have a large amount of electricity, it's going to create lots of heat. So when lightning strikes, the air molecules are going to heat up crazy hot in a very short span. And when they do that, anything that's warm expands. So when something's heated, it expands, and it's going to create a large sound, and that's what thunder is. So lightning causes thunder because it heats up and expands air molecules. They happen virtually at the same time. Lightning's just slightly ahead of thunder, okay? But you see the lightning often a second or two before the thunder because light travels faster than sound. And we'll call it good for today.